Recording in progress.
Hey guys, name's Bryce Tubbs. So today, let's talk about can I open a bookkeeping business? I get asked this question a pretty good amount of times from people that are like, they want to start a business and like they're trying to figure out like what's the best business model for them. So, for me, I started my bookkeeping business back in 2015. It's about a decade ago. It took me, a brief amount of time to go reach six figures in the business after investing in about $36,000 in courses. So I make these videos to kind of help you get an understanding of like what it actually takes to be successful in business. I'm not just trying to like say, start this business and like not give you expectations. I want you to know exactly what you're getting into, to know exactly like what is the goal and like what is the outcome we're expecting when it comes to starting a business. Also, if you ever want some help, like achieving these goals and stuff we talk about or outline in these videos, go ahead and click the link inside the description below to book a call with myself. See if I can help you inside of a mentorship program. Awesome. So let's attack this thing. So, number one, okay, this is a good business for, let's talk about the goal. It's a great business for really creating a high profit cash flow machine. High profit cash flow machine. We'll call it the HPCM. Is what we're gonna start calling that from now on. And the goal of this business model is really to start building something that 3 to 4X's whatever your monthly bills are. That's kind of a really good safety zone that I found for most people. And then once you're at that spot, just really learning how to create time for yourself, where you have like maybe a small team of like maybe 1 or 2 staff accountants underneath you that are doing majority of the work. And what this allows you to do is number one, if you just want to spend more time with your children, you definitely can. If you want to make even more money, you can either go and like start doing investing, like go into like real estate, go into like the stock market, et cetera, et cetera. It also gives you another opportunity to even start a second business or do some other kind of like, just like way to make money that is like very exciting, very fun. So for me, for example, once I got to about 5X, whatever like my bills were, I started doing like the mentorship and coaching. So I really enjoy talking, I really enjoy like creating like YouTube videos. And when it came for the accounting business and for the bookkeeping business, it's not really the best way to go and grow a bookkeeping business through videos. So there's no real reason for me to do it. So I wanted something extra to do and just have like fun. Like, and this is like really exciting because I do like working, but like once you kind of have your accounting business to a certain spot, you have the staff accounts doing the work for you. There's not that much stuff you have to do unless you're like really trying to like scale and grow, which then you can do a lot more stuff. But we've kind of hit a really good holding zone inside of my businesses. So let's attack this thing. So when it comes to this high profit, you're trying to 3 to 4X your bills, right? 3 to 4X your bills. Ideally, you save an extra 100K per year, right? So ideally, we want you to save an extra 100K per year minimum. Minimum. If you can save 200K per year, that's even better. Now, the reason why, okay, so like for me, I my goal when I was first getting started was to make as much money as possible. Right? Because I didn't know if I could make it in business, and I wanted to like make sure that I could just make money. But my vision now is like you make as much money as you possibly can, so that your passive investments start being able to pay for your life. So you start working because you actually enjoy the work that you do, not out of like necessity for what you have to do. And I just found that just puts you just in such a better mood. Like for me, for example, like my mood is always so good. You know what I mean? Like I'm relaxed, I'm happy. Sometimes like I get a little tired when like the sky like right now it's like gray outside of my house. I live in Michigan, so it's like a little bit gray. But other than that, man, it's a pretty relaxed lifestyle, and I found it just comes from being able to bring in the cash flow above your bills, so you don't have to worry about like expenses. Like if let's say your car explodes, like maybe you have an older car and it explodes, you go get a new car. It's not that big of a deal because since you have the business, you can either increase your clientele or just set like let's say that you have like you're gonna go and put down like $10,000 on a new car, whatever, right? Okay. Well, then just go sell $10,000 cleanup. If you have the business and you have the ability to kind of grow it to kind of meet whatever like financial needs you have, then it just helps. And like notice I say financial needs, like you in terms of financial wants, like this business model is not gonna like give you $1 million per year for most people. Some people like can if you combine with like other services like tax planning, consulting, et cetera, et cetera. But for most people, it's going to give you like well within like either between 10K to about 30K per month is kind of like the zone I see like the average person generally achieve if they stay in this business long enough. So you're not going to go out and like buy like a private jet or like a super yacht, in the beginning. Maybe after like 10, 20 years of doing this stuff, but for most people, it's not gonna be like that. So that's why I say like you can pay for whatever needs you have, right? Because generally needs are not like super big, like outside of like certain medical procedures. But yeah, definitely like it gives you the ability, just it gives you that safety in life, right? So I'm always focused on like how can I like add safety to my life? Number one, how can I make my life easier? Number two, how can I make my life safer? Number three, how can I make my life a little bit more enjoyable? Number four, how can I make my health better? Right. So those are the things I'm always like focused on. I'm always like trying to do. And by having like this accounting business, it allows you to really have flexibility. You can go to your child's school, can go to child's school. Right? I remember for a lot of people we work with, like with they're working a job and like their child gets sick, then they oftentimes get a lot of like flack at work for like leaving early to go and like take care of their kids, right? And that's something that you never want to have to deal with. Like, your life and the way that you make money should support your life, right? So it's all about learning how to kind of like do that. But with a business, you don't have to really worry about that. You can go on vacation, right? So let's say that you just like traveling. Like this year I did a lot of traveling, right? So I did a lot of conferences, did a lot of fun stuff, both for like health, fitness, and some of my hobbies, right? And like it was just fun. But I remember like back when I was working, you couldn't just do that. Like some people have like what is it, like two to 3 weeks of vacation time a year. It's like, well, what if you want to spend 2 weeks in, Italy? For a year. I mean, you're out of vacation time, so you can't do anything else. You can't take a sick day after that. It's like, what are we doing here? You know what I mean? But when you have a business, you're able to just like really control your time and control your life, right? So that's my thing. And I personally like the beach. I like beaches. Hopefully I spelled that right. Beach. Yeah, Bea, beaches. Right? I love the beach. Like I've just been like standing there by the water, going inside the water. I like listening to like the waves kind of like crash. I just like sitting on the sand too, man. It's like so that's like just very relaxing for me. And like by starting a bookkeeping business and just like really understanding like that aspect of this, it's been very rewarding to be able to do that, man. Like I think next year I'm probably going to I don't know exactly how many vacations I did. Like I will admit this year I did take too many. The last two I took were just so close to one another. Like I basically went to Minnesota, then I came back home for like two days, and then I like went to Mexico, and just like those back-to-back trips just took a lot out of me. It when I say took a lot out of me, it was like travel motivation wise, it took a lot out of me. Right. So next year I might do like maybe like one a month, maybe one every other month, or I might do like one small, one big. I do have plans to go to Wimbledon in July, so I'm going to kind of build my schedule around that. But when you have a business, you can structure it in a way to where like you can actually like live. So like for example, for me, I scheduled my airplane travel to be like in the morning, so like before like 8 o'clock, right? So that way I can like spend the entire day doing whatever I want. I can maybe talk to my clients like maybe like 9 a.m. in the morning or for someone that need like later on in the day. But like the middle of my day was just so open and just so freed up, right? And it just allows you to be able to like control your life more. If you get nothing out of this video, the should I open like a bookkeeping business is really about if you want control in your life, both from a financial perspective as well as from like the ability to do whatever you want to do in life, then yes, you definitely can open a bookkeeping business if you give yourself enough time and you give yourself enough like staying power in the game, right? So staying power. Okay, so all this takes a couple skills. Learn bookkeeping 1 week to 3 months. Depends on your learning speed. If you're, a slightly slower learner, right? Nothing wrong with that. Some people learn like a slightly slower pace. I know I did for my business. I learned at a very slow pace. I made some of the same mistakes multiple times. Like I never learned from some of those initial mistakes, right? And it could take you like 1 week to 3 months, depending, right? Some people I've seen take longer. It just depends on you and like kind of what you're trying to do. right? Then it takes staying when things are hard. Progress isn't always money. Progress isn't just money. So a lot of people are like, I haven't made a sale in my bookkeeping business. I'm a failure, or bookkeeping doesn't work, or business doesn't work. I'm not making any money. It's like money is not the only indicator of success. In my business, like for the first like 6 months, I only got one client in the first 6 months. I talked to 36 people on like a Zoom consultation call, and I got zero sales, right? Was I making progress? Yes, because I was learning how to talk to people. I was learning like what are the emotional aspects of a sales call. I was learning how to interact with someone. What are the words you should say versus like what are the words you shouldn't say. I was learning like how do you present an offer? How do you ask good questions? It didn't turn into money for like the first 36 months. That was like 6 months, man. Now I understand like Bryce, like I can't afford to not make any money for 6 months. Okay, well, do it while you still have a job. Don't wait till like you lose your job to start your business, right? That's when it gets hard. As long as you have a job and as long as your bills are paid, do this in your excess and spare time and just focus on learning the skill sets, man. Like I promise, if you can just stay in this thing for 3 to 9 months, really, it's like 6 months. It's kind of really, if you can do 6 months of this stuff, change your life. Change your life. Change the heck out of your life. That's all there is to it. Just most people won't do that. Like most people give up after like two months of any business they start. Like, oh, I started an e-commerce business. Oh, it's not working. Next. Oh, I started like an online delivery service. Oh, it's not making that much money. Next. It's like, no, man, the grass is greener where you water it. It's not greener on the other side. Right? That's why every business model that most people try like doesn't work for them because they just never increase their skills. Now there are some business models that just are terrible, right? Like if you're trying to like start like an online bread store where you're trying to like make like artisanal bread for people. Okay, that might be a little harder to do. That's unproven. Like there might be some demand, but it might be really challenging, right? You have a lot of competitors, like people already make bread. Okay, that's challenging. But if you're selling something, let's say you're selling accounting, and then your average person stays with you for 7 years. Let's say that you charge 500 per month. That's the low price. Lowest we charge is 500 per month. Okay, you time this by 12 months, that's 6K per year. 6K times 7 years, that's the 7 years they stay. That is $42,000 one client pays us. If you get 10, that's $420,000. We'll call it before taxes. I always spell this wrong for some reason. I don't know. Goodness. Crazy money you're gonna be making. Crazy money. This almost all goes to the bottom line because you don't have that many expenses. You know what I mean? So it's drastically easier to make this work. Make this work. Drastically. Drastically. So, can you start this? Yes. Give yourself some grace. Give yourself at least 6 months of saying, like, hey, I'm gonna do whatever it takes. Now, for some people, they could spend forever and they just don't make it work. So I would get help. Pay whatever it costs. Okay. I paid 35,600 and some change in year one. We'll say year one. Some people, like I tell 35,000 to, they're like, gasp. It's like, well, that's what it cost me. You pay whatever it costs to go and have long-term, long-lasting success. Like most people, man, like they say whatever their goal is, whatever their dream is, and like they're not willing to pay the cost for it, man. It's just like, so did you really want that? There's a difference between like wanting something and actually going and getting something. These videos I make is not just about wanting the vacation, it's not just about wanting the travel, wanting the toys. It's about, are you going to do the things that it actually takes to go and get them? If the answer is yes, you can have whatever you want in life. If the answer is no, you just kind of keep getting whatever you've had, right? I spent 150K within first 4 years in business. These and like let me tell you, on courses, coaching, masterminds. Like this stuff was not cheap to learn to be successful. Like, and this kind of a weird kind of place to kind of say this, but it's like, I don't know. Like a lot of people have not learned how to be a monumental success. And when you're in a job, it's okay to be um good, not great. So what I mean by that, like in a job, there can be places to where there are either inefficiencies or people just not really doing the best they possibly can. You've probably seen it. You've probably seen some people at a job where it's like, they've had the job forever and they're just not as efficient anymore. Or like no one really knows exactly what they do. They just kind of like do stuff and it's just like, maybe it's not providing the most value to the company, right? And you can kind of tell that. In a business, you can't afford to do that. You need to be moving towards excellence, whether that's excellence in sales, excellence in marketing, whether that's excellence in client delivery, whether that's like excellence in your health, right? Like you have to be moving towards excellence. And the only way to do that is by being around people that already have excellence. So I was literally like paying to be around like one course I paid for. It was a $20,000 mastermind. The guy was leading was doing $40 million per year in his business. It was an online business he was running. It was like basically a staffing company he ran. And in those calls, I was around other business owners. Some were doing like 100K a month. Some were doing 300K a month. Some people were just getting started. But I was around people that are already better than me. So I could understand. Like, for example, there was this one guy, he was doing like $3 million a year. And he came on the call, he's basically just like complaining. I hate this sales rep. Man, marketing's annoying. These people are like, oh, blah. And I was like, and he was doing $3 million a year selling like mindset coaching. Like he was like a mindset coach. It was like, if this is the mindset guy and he's complaining, upset, annoyed, and irritated, and he's doing 3 million a year, that means what I'm experiencing is normal. So if I just keep doing exactly what I'm doing right, and I just don't really care if I feel irritated, upset, or sad, then I will be successful. And it just gave me permission to feel how I was feeling, but keep persevering, keep moving. But you don't get that unless you pay, the money to like be around these people. So that's why I said, pay whatever it costs. Can't stress this enough. Whoops, that's way too big. I don't know why it got that big. Pay whatever it costs to go get the help you want. Okay? Now, whether that's my program or someone else's program, I don't care. Buy every program on the market. Who really cares? Right? But money is replaceable. Your time and your success is not. Every single day we're getting older. Every single day our brains are kind of slowing down a little bit, right? Like maybe you saw something with your parents growing up, right? Which like, when you were young, like they were sharp as a whip. Now if you're getting older and you're like seeing your parents are like maybe like not as sharp as what they were, not as fast, or they don't understand certain technology, it's hard to think about, but that's gonna be all of us. So while you have your wits about you, while you have energy, while you have the ability to succeed, go and do what it takes to go be successful. Remember, you only got to do what it takes to be successful one time. One time. Even if you were to lose things once you have been successful, you now have the skill set to go and replicate it. So get this thing the one time. If you want some help, I'm here for you, okay? Book a call to see if I can help. To see if I can help you. Okay? That's all I can stress, okay? If you want to be like, you might see some of the stuff, you might see my vacation videos. If you want to be able to have this stuff, you got to do what I did. You got to invest in yourself. You got to take the courses. You got to put in the time. You got to put in the work. And like, yeah, that sounds like a lot of work. It is a lot of work. But it's like, what's the alternative? Exactly what you already have. And if you're happy with what you have, that's good. But if you're watching a video that's this long about getting more stuff out of life, maybe chances are we don't have what we want. And if that's the case, you gotta do something. Life does not just get easier. You make it easier by doing the stuff that's hard. If you do what's hard, your life will be easy. But if you do what's easy, your life will be hard. Okay? So book your call. I'd love to see if I can help you out. I'll talk to you soon. Have a great rest of your day. Take it easy. I should probably start saying take it easy and say make it easy.